Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this sewing machine organizer. It has 8 pockets on it. You can also put a few more on it if you want to, or a few less. I'll also show you how to make this really quick little pin cushion. And then later in the video, I'm going to go over other items that you can make to help you organize your sewing space. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is layer your fabrics for the main portion of the organizer. So as you'll see, here is my fabric that goes on the very back. And you place the back side, you place the pretty side, that's called the front side or right side of the fabric, that goes against your table. Then, between your top fabric and that bottom fabric is your layer of cotton batting. And the cotton batting is cut the same size as your top fabric here. Then you want to center it on this bottom fabric, and I have 1 inch around all 4 edges. You want to take your time getting it placed so that you have the same amount of fabric around all 4 sides. Then you want to take straight pins and just scatter them all over the top, and that's to help hold your layers of fabric together while you do your quilting stitches. Here are some samples of some quilt stitch patterns. And what it is just doing straight lines going every 2 to 3 inches across. And then you turn it and then you go the opposite way. All of these stitches help hold your layers together so that the cotton batting doesn't come apart or not lay quite as flat as it should. This one here is the same pattern, but it looks different because I used a serpentine stitch. And really, all computerized sewing machines should have this on there. So you want to check your user's manual. You may have to adjust the length and width to get it to look like this. Now, let's take a look at the presser foot I recommend you use. And this is called a walking presser foot. I get comments all the time from viewers. They don't understand why their fabric stretches and puckers and doesn't look good when they do their quilting stitches. It's because they're not using the correct presser foot. You can purchase these at a sewing machine supply store, or you can order them off the internet. You can go on to Sewing Machine Parts online, enter the model name of your sewing machine, and you should be able to find one for your machine. Now go to your ironing board and go to all 4 sides, and you're going to fold them over just 1/4 inch and press. And again, do that on all 4 sides. Take your fabric for the pockets and place the cotton batting in. So this is the side or the section that is your 8-inch wide piece of fabric. You put your 4-inch wide piece of cotton batting. And this one here, you put your 6-inch piece of cotton batting. And you just put it down on one edge. Then fold it over and line up your edges. And what I like to do after I fold it over is go to the ironing board and just press along that fold line. Take your larger pocket piece, this is the one that's 6 inches wide this way, place it down at the lower edge, and this is your 20-inch wide edge right here. So place that one down there, then take your smaller pocket piece and also place it down there on the edge. And then you want to place pins to hold all the layers together. So scatter those around over the top. Now it's going to be up to you where you want to do your stitch lines to designate the different pockets. So look at the tools and the items that you wish to store in here. Some could be really narrow when you want to just put something like this in there, Or it could be wider when you have a big little container of pins or any other gadgets that you want to place in here. I advise you to place your really long items, like maybe a pair of scissors in the back pocket section, and your smaller items in the front pocket section. So for this demonstration, I'm just going to do about 3 different stitch lines. Once you determine the size of your pockets, then start up here at the top edge, back stitch, stitch down towards the bottom edge, and then back stitch again. Now just do a basting stitch, about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, to secure the pockets all along here. So you're going to go around all 3 edges of the pockets. Now you're going to take your bottom edge as well as the top edge, fold this fabric over, and then place pins to hold. You may have to pin across going this way. And then once you've got it all pinned, then you want to stitch from this edge or on this edge right along here all the way across. And again, you do it at the bottom and top edge. Now take your other 2 edges and fold them over, and then stitch along this edge right along here. And again, you do it on your last 2 edges. Now, wasn't that quick to make? And I put my pockets about 5 inches apart, the little stitch lines, but remember, you can make them any width you want. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 different pockets. Now let me show you what it looks like on the back, because everyone wants to know. It looks just plain. There's really nothing there. Okay, let's move on to the next one. To make this little pin cushion, this is also really quick and just maybe 10 minutes to make. You want to get 4 squares that are 3.5 inches squared, and you want 2 that are the same color and then a different color also too. So now you're going to bring 1 of each together and stitch a 1/4 inch seam, and then flip them over and press. Now I have my seam going towards the darkest fabric, so you want them both going in the same direction. So here are 2 that are the same fabric, and these 2 are the same fabric. Now you want to take one of them and just turn it so you have opposite, like this. Then bring them front sides together, and you're going to match the center seam here. So you want the seam on the bottom going in the opposite direction than the seam on top. Then after you've got this matched, make sure you place a pin there to hold it, and then stitch 1/4 inch seam along this edge. So after you got that last seam stitched, then you want to press that seam on the back and then press on the front. Then bring your fabric for the back, place this piece on top, and place pins all around the edges, okay, on all 4 sides. Then you want to indicate an area that's going to be left open that you're not going to stitch on, and it doesn't need to be too big. So what I'm doing is I'm going to leave this little area open, hold on a second, between here and here. So you want to make sure you back stitch a little bit on each side of the opening. So begin stitching here and start up here and stitch all the way down this side, across, up, and then back over to here, and then back stitch again. Before you turn it front side out, you want to trim a little bit off your corners. So you can use scissors or a rotary cutter. If you're using a rotary cutter, make sure you keep your fingers out of the way. So go ahead, and I like to cut across this way, and then I'll cut a little off on each side of the corners. So you do this at all 4 corners. Now reach inside your opening and turn it front side out. Now you want to go inside and just poke your corners out. And if you're using something as pointed as I am, make sure you don't point through your fabric or tear your fabric. So then go ahead and give it a good pressing. And while you're pressing, fold these edges in 1/4 inch and press it also. Now I'm going to give you a couple of choices on this. You can leave this next step out completely, or you can put it in. And what I'm doing is I'm stitching around 2.5 edges. You can either come in 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, or 1 inch and stitch across here, down to here, across, and back up to here. Now don't go all the way down to this edge. So again, you can leave that step out or do 1/2 inch up to 1 inch wide stitch area here. Now the stuffing that I'm using is poly-fil polyester stuffing, and you can buy this at Joann's, Walmart, if they carry fabric and craft department. You can buy it online, you can buy it just about anywhere. So you want to do is break it up into little pieces and then go through your little hole here and stuff it inside, and make sure you push plenty into your little corners. Then to close it up, you want to finish stitching across here, that same distance that you went in before. And then on this edge right here, you can either machine stitch it down close to the edge, you can do a little whip stitch, or if you know how to do a ladder stitch, which is a hidden stitch, you can do that also. If you'd like to learn how to do a ladder stitch, there will be a link listed below your YouTube screen. Here it is. This was really, really quick, very easy project for beginners. Now this is a very small machine, so you could, if you wanted to, make it narrower or leave it this size. Now I have 2 very large machines, and this was just fine under that. But remember, you can make it any size you want. So if you want it larger, you can always make it larger. And this part here hangs over the edge of your table in front. So this is really going to help you get your items organized. If the 8 pockets is not enough for you and you wish you had a few more, you can even make a sewing machine cover like this. And this has a few more pockets on the front, and this just ties on the sides with some ribbon. So it's like a great big giant placemat that folds over. Another thing you could make for your sewing area is this. This is a quilter's design board, but you can use it for a lot of things. So when you're having to cut a lot of pieces and you've laid them on your table and everything's getting lost, you can stick it on here. It sticks on there, it doesn't fall off, and it helps you keep your pieces organized while you're sewing. I know most of you tell me you have just a really small area in a corner of a room. So what you could do is build a shelf above your sewing machine, and you can get these little plastic containers, decorate the tops, and you can keep your smaller items in it, like buttons and grommets and eyelets and beads, whatever you want to put in them. If you buy a lot of fat quarters, or you purchase just really small pieces of fabric, you can put your fat quarters in these little fat quarter storage cubes, or fold up your smaller pieces of fabric and put them in here. One of the things I like to do is, if I've got a lot of blue ones, I'll make my fabric cube blue, or if I've got a lot of yellow, I'll make the cube yellow. So it's real fast to find what you want and real easy to file them away. This is a project storage bag. It's got vinyl on the front and a zipper up here. So if you've got a work in progress, or you've got several and you don't want to lose all your pieces, you can make these project bags, and these are really simple. This is the small one, but I also give you the size of the larger one too. Many of you probably have taken a sewing class, or you've written down little notes, and they're sort of scattered all over the place. Well, I have a tutorial in which I show you how to put this notebook together and organize all of your little stitching notes. I have links to all of these items that I showed you. They're listed below your YouTube screen. So you want to scroll down to the description section. Click on that little down arrow to expand it open, and you will see all of the links to all of these items. And if you're interested in other beginners' sewing projects, also look below your YouTube screen for those video links. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.